What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Rising Above Adversity, AFC Bournemouth. And today you join me for the semi-finals of the Capital One Cup as we take on Championship opposition in Watford. Of course, if we do get to the final once again, it would be our third Capital One Cup final appearance in this save. But it's been quite a while since I was last with you guys. I've decided to kind of move on the save and try to get to some of the more interesting parts of the season. Of course, we are in the second half of the season now, so we're at that point where things are starting to hot up really quickly. So I'll show you our results since the last episode. And in the league, a mixed bag of results really. We've played 9 games, won 5, drawn 2 and lost 2. So our unbeaten record in all competitions has come to an end, unfortunately. We lost to Arsenal away from home at the Emirates. They actually scored in the 88th minute in this game, which was disappointing. And our most recent league game, we actually lost 1-0 to Hull, which is not an ideal result. But we haven't done too badly in the league. Some very good results in there, against the likes of Crystal Palace. Won that one 4-0, beating Stoke 3-1, away at QPR 4-2, at home to Everton 2-1. We also beat Wigan 1-0. You can see we drew at home to Manchester United and disappointingly drew 1-0 at home to Aston Villa. But we are top of the table, 1 point clear of Manchester City. And as I've said in previous episodes, there's really a rivalry building up between ourselves and Man City, and it started from the very first season that I started this save. And of course, if you don't know, in FM16 there's a thing called dynamic rivalries, where rivalries build up in the game over time, and that would have been something that definitely would have come into play, had that feature been in this game between ourselves and City. Unfortunately, that is not the case, but yeah, and City are actually in the semi-final of the Capital One Cup as well, so we could potentially face them again in the final of a cup competition. I mean, it really is incredible, but we've got to get past Watford first. I mean, they are in the Championship, but we need to be on our top game. But before I get into that as well, I forgot. Of course, you can see it's the 20th of January. Now, we haven't done any business ourselves in terms of bringing players in, but there has been one player that has left the club, and it is Sergej Sidorchuk. He has gone to FC Porto for £10 million. He's really not featured much this season. You can see it there. He's made 3 appearances. He's made 1 appearance, all season in the league. Played 3 games in the cup as well. 4 appearances all season so far then. It was time to move him on, really. Of course, at the time we brought him in, he was the most expensive player for me. He was the player that I'd spent the most money on since I had come to the club. Unfortunately, he's just not good enough anymore. He'd done a decent job. He was never, outstanding, really. You can see his average ratings they're good, they're solid, but they're nothing exceptional. And now we've got some exceptional players in that midfield, and he's just not the kind of player that we need anymore. And to get 10 million for him was pretty decent fee in my opinion. So Sergej Sidorchuk has left the club. I also want to mention this guy, Ronnie Heaton. Of course, I brought him in at the start of the season for £4.5 million from Blackburn. Sent him straight on loan to Watford. He didn't have a great time at Watford, and I made the decision to kind of bring him back from the Watford in the Championship. Of course, our opponents today, they're currently fighting for promotion in the Championship, so it's a bit disappointing that he couldn't get going there. I mean, they wasn't starting him. You can see he started only 5 games, 10 appearances off the bench, so I made the decision to bring him back from Watford, and you can see I've sent him out on loan to Millwall now in League One. So hopefully he can have a good solid 6 months of a regular first team football at Millwall in League One, and then maybe next season try and give him another loan in the Championship, because I really think he could become a superb player. He's only 18 years old, and I really, really want him to be given the best possible opportunity to reach his potential. But anyway, we're going to go to the Watford game today. This is the team. We've got a few players out on international duty. Fekir and Raheem Alex Mokhtar are currently at the African Cup of Nations with Algeria, so we cannot call upon them. I mean, this is not my regular kind of first team lineup. There is a few changes, but we've got such a strong squad now that I can kind of chop and change and not really hinder the quality of the squad. So you can see in goal I've got Pereira. At the back I've got Zadrahal, Mamana, Gamega and Cresswell. In the middle I've got Cubas and Chininia, Oliviero on the right, Correa in behind the striker, Milik on the left wing, and Marco Negro up front. As I said, Watford are Championship opposition, but they're fighting it out for promotion at the moment, so they're in good nick, they're in good form. So although we're fully expected to go through in this tie, we still need to make sure that we're not complacent. And the first opportunity of the game could be coming very early on. We're just in the 3rd minute, but we're on the attack. Marco Negro is on the ball. He takes it into the box. It's a great save by the keeper to deny him. But early signs are that we are going to be very dominant in this match. Right, here we come then. Joaquin Correa with the free kick. And Joaquin Correa puts us into the lead 8 minutes in. And we've made our early dominance pay. Nice to get that early goal. And it was a lovely free kick from Joaquin Correa. We'll see it again in 3D. Steps up, one step really, top corner, keeper can't do nothing about it, 1-0. And Cresswell's just put in a magnificent challenge to set us on the attack again. Marco Negro picks up the ball, hasn't got much support so far, he's doing it by himself though, keeper with the save, it falls to Oliviero, and we've made it 2-0, some fantastic work by Marco Negro to get past the man, get his shot away, and unfortunately for Watford, it rebounds off the keeper from his save. He does very well there, Marco Negro, keeper saves it, and Oliviero's there, alert to make it 2-0. Correa running the show so far, in behind the striker. He comes again down on this right wing, plays it to Marco Negro. Marco Negro with the header, and half an hour, or less than even half an hour into this game, and it looks like we're going to Wembley for another Capital One Cup final. Correa with some great work down on the right wing, floats the ball in. Marco Negro rises above everyone else there to nod it home. 3-0. We're cruising in this one. Maybe one last possible chance in this half for ourselves. Cubas plays it to Oliviero. Marco Negro again. Alex McCarthy, if it wasn't for him, it could be 5 or 6-0 at half-time. He saved a lot of chances, but it is 3-0 at half-time. Completely dominant in this game. Watford still have not had a shot, I don't think. And just more of the same. I can't say anymore. Just go out there and perform as the same, and we'll probably get 2 or 3 more goals in this game. Now, what can we do with it here? Oliviero, shortly after half-time, into Andres Cubas, out to Chinini. Is he going to strike it? No, he plays it to Correa, into Negro. Negro makes it 4-0, and we are rampant in this game. He gets his 18th of the season, his 2nd goal in this game, and it's been an absolutely magnificent performance. Of course, it is against championship opposition, but you can only beat what's in front of you, and we are performing to a very, very exceptional level in this game. And you guys are seeing now the kind of ruthlessness that I talked about. I think it was in the last episode, as Anders Ankerson goes in with a challenge on Milik. Is it going to be a red card? He makes his way to the referee. No, it's just a booking, but that means the highlight will continue. Will it result in a goal? Correa with the free kick. It comes in. Zadrahal's in there. Gamega's there as well. Gamega nods it home. And Bournemouth 5, Watford 0. At this rate, I don't think I'm going to cover the second leg, but because it doesn't look like there would be any real point. We're pretty much through now. Gamega with the free header makes it 5-0, and we've still got half an hour left in this game. It doesn't get much more convincing than that, does it? Bournemouth 5, Watford 0, and safe to say, I think that we will be in the final of the Capital One Cup. You see the stats there, 33 shots in total, 18 on target. Watford had 3 shots the entire game. It was a wonderful performance. Marco Negro is actually currently the top goal scorer in the competition now after those 2 goals. So, of course, I said I was going to cover both legs in this episode, but I don't think there's any point. So what I'm going to do, we've got an FA Cup game coming up against Ipswich in a few days' time, and then we've got the second leg. So I'm going to fast forward till after the game against Watford to confirm our opponents in the final of the Capital One Cup. So then, despite Watford putting up a good fight in the second leg, there is confirmation that we will be in the final of the Capital One Cup. We win it 6-1 in aggregate. The game ended 1-1, pretty much due to some absolutely ridiculous saves that Alex McCarthy made in the second leg. I wish I could have showed you them. He was absolutely incredible, as he was in the first leg as well. But there it is, with booked half pace in the final, and there is also a confirmation that it will be against Manchester City once again. If we go to the past meetings between ourselves and Man City, we'll show it again if it wants to load. We've played Man City so many times. We've played them in 2 Capital One Cups or finals already. We've played them in an FA Cup final, and this is the 4th final that we're going to be playing against City. We've beaten them in every single final so far, so hopefully we can make that 4 out of 4. So that will probably round up today's episode. I also completely glossed over the fact that we've got Leverkusen in the Champions League first knockout round. Leverkusen are not going to be an easy opposition. They won the league a few years ago. You can see they're actually currently top of the Bundesliga. They won it in 2019. So Leverkusen are a good side in this game. We could have got a lot of easier teams than Leverkusen. So that's going to be a test for us. But it's one I'm confident that we can come through. We've got a fantastic team, the best team I've had since I took charge of Bournemouth. So hopefully, we can have a good run in the Champions League. We also beat Ipswich 2-0 in the FA Cup 4th round. And we've set up a tie with, of course, Manchester City in the 5th round. That is coming up soon as well. But next episode should be a lot more interesting. I'm going to bring you Chelsea in the league, and then Manchester City in the league as well, away from home. That is going to be a huge game. Man City have been spending money in January. I'll show you their transfers actually. They've bought 2 players or 3 players in January, but 2 big money signings. They bought Bernardo Silva for 44.5 million from Real Madrid. And they also bought this guy, Alban Juapi. He's an incredible player. 22.5 million from Genoa. Absolutely amazing striker. What a tank of a striker. 6'4". Just look at him. He's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, if I knew that he was available for 22.5 million, I think I looked at this guy last year and they wanted something like 40-50 million. I just didn't want to pay that much. If I had known that he was available for that much, I may have gone in for him myself. But he should be pretty good for City, and they're certainly very, very serious about this title challenge, as they would be. But they're spending a lot of money to try and regain the title. They haven't won it for a couple of seasons. But as I said, next episode, Chelsea and Man City. Episode after that will be the Leverkusen Champions League ties. Actually, the Capital One Cup final is before the second leg against Leverkusen. So I'm not sure how I'm actually going to structure these the next episode after the Chelsea City one. But I'll figure that out anyway. Thank you guys for watching again. If you did enjoy this episode, be sure to leave it a like. And if you're not subscribed to the channel just yet, please do subscribe. But for now, it's been Halfback FM, and I'll see you guys in a bit.